All right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for watching. I am once again joined by President of BookBaby, Jim Foley, and I'm here to talk about and ask Jim a very important question that sometimes gets a little bit confused in this industry, and that is, what is the difference between distribution and marketing? So I'd like to kind of just jump right into that. Jim, if you want to answer that big question, and we can kind of get the ball rolling with that.
Sounds good. It's often very confusing for people new to the publishing world, but book distribution and book marketing are two totally separate things. So sometimes people will confuse the terms and they'll say things to us like, "Hey, do you guys market my book to Amazon?" When really what we do is we distribute your book to Amazon and other retailers. So book distribution is all about getting your book from the printing presses into the hands of the readers, right? It encompasses physical and digital delivery of the book to all the various retailers and sales channels and points of purchase, making it available into the library system, um, all of these things that go on. So it's about engaging with the retailers and the wholesalers. It's about the supply chain, managing inventory if there is any. Even with POD, there is small amounts of inventory. 5 books here, 10 books there. If it's a rapidly selling bestseller, any there could be hundreds of books in the print-on-demand supply chain. If it's really moving. Then you have the physical and digital formats to manage. You have returns, refunds, you name it, all the things that come along with taking a product from the factory and getting it into the hands of the end user. That's really what distribution is all about. Now, on the other hand, book marketing is all about getting attention for the book so that people want to go and buy it, right? So this is more about defining your target audience, developing and implementing marketing strategies, branding, the author brand we talk about all the time, establishing a really strong online presence on social media. Maybe you're engaging with media, maybe you're hiring a publicist, maybe you're leveraging advertising campaigns, collaborations, partnerships, speaking gigs, you name it. That's marketing.
I think that although they're very different, people get confused because the two processes are kind of need each other, if that makes sense. You can't really distribute a book without, well, you can, but you won't be successful in the endeavor of distributing your book globally unless you market it. So, do you think that's why they get confused? I think it's just, in my mind, it's probably that, right? Like that just both are a bit dependent on each other to be successful.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And even in the old school traditional publishing world that, some people might be familiar with, the idea of a salesperson going around to the bookstores and selling the book into the stores, right? So that's kind of the legacy there. So there was definitely marketing and distribution working hand in hand to get the book into the marketplace. So they are very closely aligned, but they're two different mechanisms.
So, as we kind of have this conversation, I think that what gets to be misleading for authors, and especially first-time authors, is just a lot of the language we use in the industry and just the words we throw around. So, as we talk today, I kind of want to just break down some terms just in basic form, just to make it as clear as possible how the process works. So, with that, let's start with the foundation of our business, of the industry, and that's publishing. So when you think about publishing a book, what does that mean to you? When an author says, I want to publish my book, what would that entail?
So that's for us in our modern world of publishing. Publishing the book means you've done it, you put it into the vessel, the format, whether it's an ebook, a print book, whatever, and you're putting it into the marketplace. So that's really a publish, right? It's got an ISBN number. It's a thing. It's your asset. It's real. You can hold it in your hands. And then you can take that and enter the marketplace however best suits your goals for the book.
And the marketplace is huge, right? Like there's Amazon, there's Barnes and Noble, there's 1,000 other booksellers. So when you think of getting your book to market, would you classify it still as a true publish, even if it's just one retailer, even if you elect to sell just on, for example, with us at BookBaby Bookshop, does it matter how many retailers, which retailers, or is it just the act of getting the book into market?
No, I think it's just the act of getting it into market, and even more specifically, having the metadata registered with Bowker, the governing body for ISBNs here in the United States. Like once the book's there in the database, it exists, published. It has a unique identifier.
It's true. And one thing that it's cool to see, especially like as we work with clients here, is every book finds success in a different way. And there's not like, you don't have to take one set path. Like it's not Amazon or bust, Walmart or bust. The global distribution network is huge, and authors are utilizing BookBaby Bookshop with us and finding great success doing it. So I think it's just like a really exciting time in publishing, where the industry is evolving and changing, and empowering authors to sell on sites that are really beneficial to them and their readers and the community at large, which has been, for me at least, really exciting to be a part of.
Oh, absolutely. And even when you think about our bookshop, we have people selling 800-page textbooks for more than $150, all the way down to a poetry book, right? They're completely different
Yeah, no, it's true.
universes, of readers and everything. And yeah, there's something here for everybody.
So I kind of would like to circle back to this comparison between marketing and distribution, because like you laid out perfectly when we started, they are very different from each other. But it still is so interesting why people call us up and why so many authors are, somehow get them confused. And I wonder if this is a bigger picture issue with the industry, right? Because sometimes there are companies that make promises about sales and guarantees about sales that could be misleading to a lot of authors. Do you think this language confusion could be an industry issue by any means, or think it's more so personal confusion?
It's a little bit of both. There's
Yeah.
definitely some opacity in the marketplace. People do, it's a complex industry, and people absolutely have confusion about these things. That's why we're having this conversation about this topic. And what we do at BookBaby is we try to make things as clear and transparent as possible, so that people understand the differences in these kind of steps in the publishing journey, and what they all mean. Now, you don't even have to be an expert in them. This is really out of curiosity, and then also so that you should have a curiosity, I think, and a desire to have some base level knowledge about how it operates, just so that you can have peace of mind and understand that things are playing out like they're supposed to. So, with BookBaby, what we do is we take your title and we make it available to all the big sellers, right? And sometimes that means, depending on the format of the book, whether it's an ebook or a print book or a hardcover book, you name it, um, it we might go direct to the large retailers. We may go through a wholesale network, you know. For example, genre matters, right? So you're not going to have, there's only certain types of titles that are going to be distributed by, like a Christian book distribution company, right? That's not right for everybody, but for some titles, it's perfect. So, depending on the title, the type of book, um, really matters in where it's going to end up in the world. So our books get into almost all of the big wholesalers catalogs, they call them. So basically what that means is you're in the database. Now, when a store wants to buy that book, they go to their preferred wholesalers database and they see the book, and then they can buy the book from that wholesaler. And then we have a supply chain where the wholesaler would order the books from us. They get printed based on whatever terms exist with the wholesaler. Then they get fulfilled back to the retailer through whatever terms they have with the wholesaler. So it can start to get complicated, but at BookBaby, you don't have to worry about any of that. We just tell you what your royalty rate's going to be on every sale. We don't charge you back for returns. and we manage all the back end heavy lifting and of all that for you.
Yeah, and one thing I think that when an author is deciding to remain independent and self-publish or try to go the traditional route, I think what gets a little bit lost is getting an understanding of what the role is in marketing for each outlet. So for when it comes to a self-publisher like BookBaby, um, what we mentioned that like our role is getting the book out there, and we do that, but a self-publisher is not a service that markets a book for a client. However, what I will say is that what I'm really proud of at BookBaby is I believe that like we are doing more than any other self-publisher in the industry to help clients market their books and provide them the tools they need to get their work out there. And it's something that I spend a lot of time doing when I'm with my work on Bookshop and BookBaby Reads. And so I guess what I'm trying to say is I think it would be great for us to share what exactly BookBaby is doing to help clients get their book to market, to help clients market their books, and also to do some organic marketing, even for some clients through organic blog writing, YouTube, and so forth.
Sure. So that's an awesome subject. So it's an exciting time in the evolution of BookBaby. So for the last decade, BookBaby has been focused on building a robust platform for anyone to professionally publish their book and distribute it into the marketplace in any format that is needed. And we've done that, and we've been so focused on dialing in that platform. We made analytics available. We have an app. We built a book factory to print all the books and all that stuff. We pay all the royalties. I don't want to get into the whole value of BookBaby in this video, but that's where we were focusing our resources and attention. And then about a year ago, we brought on Joe to be the bookshop manager and the manager of our reads blogs. And what I talk about internally here is that for the next 10 years, BookBaby is going to focus on selling books and promoting authors and driving our bookshop to be the most author friendly bookstore on the internet. And we are happy and proud that I think we're the only self-publishing organization who has the audacity to actually stand behind our authors' good books and go out there and help promote them. So we're doing that with Joe's Reads blog. We're doing that on our store. We're doing it through we have an email list now of real book buyers. That's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people on the list who we're emailing new releases to. We're emailing, if you bought a children's book, we're emailing you other children's books that you might like to buy. So we're doing these types of things. That's in its infancy still, and we have so much more opportunity there that we're really excited about. And we're talking about a catalog for BookBaby books. We're talking about video series. We have an advertising program that's super robust, where we do the digital advertising for the author. You tell us how much money you would like to spend in your campaigns, and we do all the management for you. That's really great. So yeah, we're really investing in selling our authors' books, and it's really exciting, and I think it's really exciting for our authors, and I get love letters about that stuff all the time. And you see them in the interviews with Joe too, so that's really cool.
Yeah, it's super exciting doing this work. Like, just from getting the chance to work with our authors and read their books, like I've read some of the best books I've read in a long time over the last 2 years here by reading BookBaby clients' work. And being a part of like a shift in the publishing industry to actively push our clients' work and promote our clients and want to sell books has been really cool. And authors that I work with just see the value, and for me it's been just very fulfilling, and it's exciting too, and it's just the beginning. I think that similar to the music industry, people are seeing the value of the indie value. Like indie has been, when it comes to music or even film, we really, there's a lot of incredible creators who remain independent, and You know, they're in the future, we're going to see that that value continue with books and with literature. And you know, what's really cool is that what we're doing is kind of taking the role of a traditional publisher in a way by partnering and promoting clients while still granting that independence to them. So one thing I think that we should establish is how self-publishing allows authors to maintain complete creative control regarding marketing. I think this is something for authors who are weighing whether or not they want to remain independent or go traditional. They might not know the details about. So my question is, what is the difference when you self-publish when it comes to marketing as opposed to traditional publishing? Like, what is the relationship like? Compare the two, because there is a big difference that I'd love to hear you explain.
Excuse me. So at this point in time, BookBaby is we're the workhorse, right? So we're the engine that does all the work. Our professionals do the work. You, the author, are the owner, right? So you're the creative director, if you will. So we have surveys. We'll ask you a bunch of questions like, okay, what's your goals here? What would you like to achieve? What it's a bunch of stuff that we need, and then we take that information and we apply it. And then, depending on what it is, you get a proof, right? So we return, like, if you hire us to do your ad campaigns, we give you a campaign proof. We tell you this is the audience segments, personas we believe are going to be interested in your book. Here's the message that we're going to send. Here's what the asset looks like, whether it's a video or an ad. And then you get to offer feedback. Hey, this is a home run. Go to it. Or maybe tweak this, or I don't love that color. Some people don't like certain colors. Anything really. And we take your feedback and we apply it and we send you another proof. And once you say go, we go and we do the job.
And then, when it comes to a traditional publisher, I'm under the belief that a client is not allowed to market their own book, correct?
9 times out of 10, yeah, you're just
Yeah.
you sign your rights over in exchange for money. There might be an arrangement where you have some kind of influence, but not usually the case.
It's just super cool to allow people to maintain full ownership and full creative freedom while not having to do the work, especially when someone like an author is so focused on writing and that's their, where the bulk of their attention is spent. Advertising and marketing is a full-time job almost, in a sense. So it's nice to be able to pass that off to professionals here who know the industry and know how to create compelling content that works and that sells. And that's something that we see the results of every day here. And I think that it makes this idea of global distribution a bit less intimidating, because when you hear and you go on our site and you see global distribution, it looks like a lot, right? Like we have every retail listed out that we partner with, and it's amazing. But for someone can look at that entire list and be like, oh my God, like how do I focus on writing and all of these retailers, when in reality, you really, as an independent author, it's really difficult. So what is, in your mind, a manageable and practical approach to global distribution for an independent author? And then, like, how would a marketing strategy factor into that?
Yeah, that's a funny one. So we like to say the global distribution just to highlight that your book is available should there be demand globally for your title. So that's a good thing. And like you just say, you shouldn't be overwhelmed with that. Focus locally first, and then you grow. And if you get a hit and it becomes a global hit, well, great. Your book's available and people will be able to purchase it. But you should have a focused marketing plan and think strategically. We recently did a video about targeting your audience and building a market plan, and I think that those are important first steps.
Yeah, you can't look at the entire thing without, the very beginning. Start locally, partner with independent bookstores, get to know readers. It is a, for the most part, a grassroots initiative. But, I'm Although I think that authors should start small, I'm still under the belief that just about every book should do global distribution, especially when it comes with, with working with BookBaby. It's a one-time fee for a lifetime of support. And um, eventually the book can grow. And it's like, at least give it at least give your book, like, as it grows, I don't know, kind of like I don't know, as a plant grows, don't want to like put it in like the smallest possible thing. You want to give it space to grow. So eventually, if you need to utilize the global retail market, it's there, although it's not what you're going to start with in the very beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just a no-brainer, really. It's no work for the author, and it's there. And the digital distribution too is really like super efficient. So anybody around the world can buy your ebook today, um, and that's convenient.
And also too, if there are some books where distribution's not needed, but I feel like in my mind those are the exception, maybe family, family reunion books. But if you're writing a book and you're putting the time into it, get it out there, get it out in the world. I think that's the best option, and it doesn't hurt. It's not like you have to manage it yourself. Our team here is there to do that for you. So I do want to end with just kind of a big takeaway on your end, and that's, what is the one thing you would like independent authors to know about distribution and marketing? If they could have one thought in their mind about these two big important things, what would you like their takeaway to be?
My advice would be don't waste your time trying to become an expert in those things because you don't have to, and it's time wasted. You should rely on organizations like BookBaby to do that stuff for you, and you should focus all your time on targeting your buyer persona, your reader personas for your book, and solving the problem of how do I get my name, my book in front of those people, and that's really the valuable and fun and rewarding and important work for authors to do. Mucking around with distribution and multiple accounts and all these kind of things is absolute waste of time.
Yeah, and one thing I will share is, if you need advice or are looking to collaborate, work with fellow authors. If you take a look at, if you go to the Book Baby Reads blog, some of our featured authors, some of our authors here are doing just incredible work, both with successfully marketing their book and taking advantage of our distribution networks to earn sales and make legitimate profits off those sales. So, you could reach out to me, check us out on the Book Baby Reads blog, comment on this video. There's a lot of authors here who have done the work, and you could see the results from that. And the results are there. It's not just they're real people who have real books. And I'd be happy to share their books with you, their listings on Amazon, their listings on Bookshop, and just as inspiration. It's good to learn from other people who have been there and done it and are finding a lot of success, because the success stories at BookBaby are probably the most fulfilling things for me. Seeing the people who have just taken an idea and have turned it into not only a profitable book, but a profitable business for themselves.
Amen. We are spoiled. We get to see
Yeah.
the all the great stuff all these authors are doing.
Awesome. Well, that is all I got for today. Jim, thank you for your time. And for everyone watching, we'll be back next week.
All right. Take care.
Interested in more self-publishing content? Be sure to subscribe to our channel.